What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Matt Burrill, here to tell you guys about my friends from Big Friendly Productions. Now, they specialize in creating merchandise for bands, artists, and even lifestyle brands. With their in-house equipment, they can provide shirts, branded hats, and more, as well as some graphic design services. They offer order fulfillment to handle your online orders and ship your merch straight to your fans from their shop down in good old Birmingham, Alabama, baby. Now, whether you are getting your first shirt, you're just starting out, or you're going on a 40-show run, hit them up for all your merchandising needs. Check out their website, bigfriendlyproductions.com, or shoot them an email, merchandising@bigfriendlyproductions.com. Now, we're going to get into the episode. This is Outside the Round with Matt Burrill. Also, make sure you guys like, rate, subscribe, tell your mama and them. And for more details and to get in touch with the rest of the familia, visit raisrowdy.com. Now, let's get into it. Outside the Round with me, Matt Burrill, a Raise Rowdy podcast.
This is Outside the Round with Matt Burrill, a Raise Rowdy podcast.
Our first co-hosted episode with Nikki T right here. We have got a very special treat for y'all. This will probably be one of the more degenerate episodes we've ever done because we have got 3 DJs in a room together with cameras and a microphone. We've got 4 DJs actually. Sweet Boy's behind the camera and he's still drunk from last night because he was partying with today's guest. We have got our boy Josh
What's
Terry.
up, baby?
Dude, it's good to be back on a podcast with you because I've done the one at Live Oak with you a couple times. I co-hosted DM Monday with Trey with you, and we've got our co-host today, Nikki T.
Cheers, beers, and hallelujah, or
Cheers,
whatever.
beers, and hallelujah. And so, what happened last night? You guys had your first rate, your first.
We went to Bible school, and then when we left there was a lock-in at the local boy and girl shelter.
Yeah,
We just we did the good Christian thing last night.
Gave us free meals.
Hey, let me tell you, we did everything but pass out meals to the homeless last night. Like it was rough. It was rough. But we did 6 hours yesterday at Live Oak. We did a 2-hour podcast.
6
Power
hours
shift.
is just that's a lot.
Power shift.
We did 2 hours of a podcast, like just regular format as usual, and then that was my first Riders round that I've done from 7 to 11 last night.
How'd it feel?
So it was good. I liked it. It still felt like doing the show as normal anyway, but I didn't have to be out there talking the whole time, so I could come up with the one-liners or the stupid shit I wanted to say, and then come back up there and say it a few minutes later, or whenever it's time to introduce the next artist. It was fun. I liked it. It's way better than me having to sit there and take tequila shots for 4 hours.
I was gonna say because Nikki and I have done the live podcast thing once at Live Oak.
Yeah,
and
I was there for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did not have the tequila shots.
Our podcast level of degeneracy for that was way lower than yours.
Well, it's
And we only did an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is so hard to be entertaining in front of people and not have a buzz, but then you get to a certain point. Like, I'm so quick-witted anyway, but having to do that in front of people is hard.
Yeah.
It
Like,
is.
I almost want to make it more about the music when we do it. That's why I started having the artists play during the show and us just conversate with them and do one-liners, do little quick hits or whatever with them. Because you can't. I watched y'all when y'all did yours, and it was good content and everything, but the room's not listening, not
Yeah.
paying, and then it makes
Yeah.
you not want to do it.
Yep.
Makes you want to get
Yeah.
your ass up and be like, okay, this is stupid. But it's not. Like when it comes out, when you release it on iTunes or whatever, sounds really, really good.
Yep.
But being there and not getting a crowd reaction, that is rough.
It can be tough, especially when you're used to doing it behind closed doors like this. You
Yeah.
know, in the radio world that we all come from, we're not used to having the live studio audience. Now, how many folks did you bring up with you? How large is we call it, Trey Lewis has coined it the Josh Terry critter crawl. You have a legion. I would put you as influential in the South as Dale Earnhardt. I'd put you up there with
Don't do
your
that.
boy.
Don't do that to me.
Well, you're
Yeah.
influential in the South. I mean, you can go to any, like a lot of these southern towns where country music happens, like Rome, Georgia, like anywhere, pretty much
Yeah.
anywhere in Georgia, Starkville, Mississippi, Columbia, South Carolina, and people will know who Josh Terry is. And you've collected just this great network of personalities that are in the Southeast.
Do you know how many people we've had to weave through though?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, if you the crew that you have, if they made the cut, I can only imagine who didn't.
I'm telling you. So this is the deal. I am loyal to a fault. And I expect the same thing from the people around us.
Yeah.
I believe there's a big enough piece of the pie for every single person because of social media now. Everybody should be making money. Everybody should be doing something to besides social media, like podcast, the rounds, everything. You need one more thing. You need to keep adding to it. And the people that we take everywhere with us are people that want the same thing as I want. We've had people come in there, and the partying is fun. But for me, it's more about the networking. I love growing a relationship with these folks, and then they'll do anything for you, and I'll do anything for them. It's so much easier, and y'all know this better than anything. So much easier if you're in a room with 10 people and you release something, and you know every one of them is going to share it with even out you asking. Everybody's helping everybody.
Yeah,
and that's our group, man. It's cool. It's all our family trips now, is what we say.
They
I
are
love that.
family trips. Who's like the OG in that crew that you have right now? Because some of them are artists, some of them are just personalities. Some started out as personalities and started making music and doing shows. Shout out to our girl Macy.
Yeah.
Like, who's like the OG? Like, who?
Macy's
of that
probably
crew?
gone on more trips with me than anybody in just a year's time. She's probably gone the most with me. We've been to Texas together. God, you want to talk about some debauchery? Let's go to the stockyards.
They let y'all in the stockyards? If I was a door guy, I wouldn't let. I'd be like,
Oh, you'd
hey,
let them all in.
Actually, I would let you all in because you would make great. That you've doubled that bar's sales that night.
What's crazy is it's not like that anymore either. I've done got to the point to where when I go out, especially if it's something involving our show,
Yep.
everybody just keeps handing me shit. When I was poor, and I'm still not got a lot of money, but when I was poor, I couldn't got a free beer to save my life. And now it's just like, oh, here's a shot of tequila. Here's a shot. Here's another beer. Here's a Crown and Sprite or whatever. Yeah, everybody else is running up a tab because of us.
Yeah,
and that's why I do the shows in Macon now. Is we bring such a good crew. Like we got Dylan Snyder next weekend.
huge.
The following weekend we got Taylor Austin Dye coming down. We had Trey. Earlier this year. My buddy Blaine Bunny.
Yep.
And we've got some. I don't care. I'll go ahead. We know that the contract's fine. We got before the end of the year. We got Trey Landon coming down. Brian Martin, Dylan Carmichael. I'm so excited about that one. I am such a fan of him.
Dylan's great, people.
And I'll tell you, I don't think I can do the last one because
You had mentioned it, but yeah, y'all stay tuned. Some big things
there's
happening.
another one. I'll just say that she was recently on the Grand Ole Opry, and we got to be there for her debut.
Wow.
And I don't know how the hell it lined up to where we've got a certain person coming in September, but it's going to be fire.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's wild watching you build what you're building in the Southeast. Like
Nobody's doing it.
Yeah, that's just it. Nobody's doing it at the organic level of the way you're doing it. And it's like I get so excited when I hear, oh, Josh is coming to town. It's like when your favorite cousin comes to town and you're like, it's just gonna be a party. Like your cousins come to town like the week of Thanksgiving and they're there with you that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday leading up to the holiday weekend. Like it's just fun, man.
That's the thing. I try to push that if you come to the podcast, if you come to a writers round, anything that we do, any of the stuff that I'm doing in Macon now, I don't even care if the artist is good. I know that sounds stupid. I care about the atmosphere. I want it to be where you could have a Grammy Award-winning artist in there. Atmosphere is amazing. You could have the shittiest person that is on radio right now in there. Great atmosphere. I want to tie everything that we do with Raising Grace Studios, with Josh Terry Podcast, into if you know that you see our name on something, regardless of the artist, you're going to have a good time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we do with Raise Rowdy too, man. You know what I mean? We're like,
I don't steal shit from y'all.
No.
I see how you do stuff.
oh,
and
dude,
I love it.
the right way to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's build the right people, circle yourself with people that believe in what you're doing and you believe in what they're doing, and push forward, man. And that's why we consider you family too.
I love
Amen.
y'all. I'm telling you, I absolutely. I can't remember who I was talking to about y'all the other day, and I was like, I didn't even think Burrell liked me. For like the
What do you
longest
mean?
time, I didn't think you liked me for the longest time.
Why?
I'm a dick.
So am I.
Okay, but the thing is, every once in a while, I know I can talk shit with y'all nonstop now.
Yeah.
But like, let's say I met a stranger, I'm still talking to them the same way I'm talking to y'all.
Yeah.
And sometimes people take it the wrong way. And I just felt like at one point in time, I probably said some slick shit to you and you didn't know it was a joke.
No, Josh, you since we first met, because we first met in this room on your DM Monday episode you did with Trey, and you've been one of my, because I appreciate what you do, and I consider you a good friend. Now, me being California sober, which I've been California sober on the Josh Terry show live at Live Oak. Plenty of times. I'm blowing clouds, baby. I don't know if I jump on the party bus with you guys, but like, because the party bus thing, that's a whole other animal. But no, Josh, it's what we do, and Nikki T and I talk about this all the time. It's an ecosystem. Yeah. You know, like you have in the music side, you have your writers, your artists, your producers, and then you have your suits. And then on the lifestyle side, within country music and within country culture, you have what we do, you know, and it's an ecosystem, and we're all doing the same thing, but we're doing it our own way and different enough to where it all exists. And we love collaborating with people we believe in, like yourself and your crew.
Same with y'all.
It was cool when we were at that Trey show, like watching people interact with you and like random fans come up to you and like know who you are.
Which show was that?
In Birmingham.
In Birmingham.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, damn, Josh is more famous than I thought he was. I thought he was just like our buddy.
He's a king. He's the guy. He's the guy. Hey, you did some content recently with Cornbread Cowboy.
That's my dude,
Hannah Dasher. How is he? Because I've been wanting to meet him, and I love what he does and his vibe. Like
what you see is what you get. It's about like me. He found a way, and the people that usually, in my opinion, have long-term success on social media are people that are so authentic to a fault, and they just turn it up to 10 though. Like with me, everything I post on social media is me, but it's turned up to 10. Like it's the extreme version of myself. So I don't ever have to. That's
exactly what I do.
I don't ever have to sit here for 45 minutes or a couple hours and think, damn, what content am I going to create today? I let it happen generic. I did one of him while ago. I hadn't seen it yet. And it was first date, kind of nervous when we was eating.
I saw that. It was great. The slow-mo going up.
And I was like, you know what? People are going to be like, oh, who's he on a date with? If I do it slow-mo, I'll raise rowdy.
Oh, it's Nikki T.
Yeah, I tricked him. He's so him. Is the best way I can put it. What you see is him. He's a good old country boy, dude. And he found a way to make him work on social media without having to fake the shit.
And now, how's the relationship? How's the chemistry of him and Hannah? Because I follow the love story. I follow the story of him getting off the bus, and she's waving at him, but you never know. Hannah Dasher, she's a firecracker.
Me some Hannah
I
Dasher.
do too. She's a firecracker, and I first met Hannah through Nikki T, because Nikki has been posting about her on Raised Rowdy. I know she's kin, being from Georgia and all that, but the content they put out together is just electric.
It's genius, is what it is. It's so good. But they're the same person, really. I mean, they're literally the same person. Hannah is a fireball.
Oh yeah.
I think I met her probably 7-8 years ago or whatever down in Georgia with some friends, and we've never been like best friends or anything like that. But every time she's around or whatever, big hug, just as sweet as she can be, all that kind of stuff. And her doing that, she like found the puzzle piece that was missing with that, both of them. We're like, oh, we was already blowing up. Let's do some shit. Like, let's go. This is genius. I love it.
Man, I think it's cool too. Like, and that's kind of one of the things I talk about when I'm talking about like, all right, what makes an artist successful is it has to be authentic. And what you're talking about where you turn it up to 10, that's literally what I talk about with artists. I'm like, figure out what your thing is that makes you different than every other artist.
Absolutely.
And then take that. It's a 6 right now. You might not think it's a 6, but it's a 6. Crank that motherfucker to 8 or 9.
See, I've had a lot of these young artists now in Georgia that are 20 years old or whatever start reaching out and want to come to the studio, hang out, and like y'all know, people are going to play you a demo in a heartbeat if they're an artist.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll get these kids that come and they want like my real opinion and stuff on it or whatever. And I won't even let them play me anything until like I sit there and talk to them for a little bit, because I want to figure out who they really are.
Yeah.
And then see if their music lines up with that.
Well, and sometimes they don't know who they are yet.
Exactly.
Yeah,
they're young enough.
So young.
You know? That happens all the time.
Yeah, but see, I guess with me, I'm such an asshole. I don't want to hear you sing about being a farm kid if you didn't grow up on a farm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't want to hear, y'all, I'm driving a jacked up truck, mud on my tires, all this shit, and I walk out and you're in a damn BMW.
Yeah.
Like, go to hell.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mess with my country music. Like, go somewhere else. Figure out what you want to do and do that shit. Leave what's mine alone.
Well, and listen, like, there's country music of people that had money growing up. Like, Kid Rock grew up wealthy middle class.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dirk
But,
Bentley
like,
went to a private school in New Jersey.
yeah.
Like,
So like there is country music that's like that, but you just have to be authentic to that.
Yeah,
You know
and I
what
think
mean?
that's good too. I really
Yeah.
do. I don't mind something being different than me. Like if you
Yeah,
sing songs about growing up with a silver spoon in your mouth, that's cool if you actually did it. I'm not going to relate to it, but that don't mean I got to think it's bad either.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of shit that I like that y'all probably wouldn't think I like. I am a big Sam Hunt fan, and I don't like anything
melodies for days.
Yeah, I'm telling you, people will hear me, and I've got what I consider the greatest playlist of all time in country music. But it's one of those things that has took years, and it's literally every single favorite song that I like almost. And you'll be listening to all of a sudden from Keith Whitley, George Jones, and then Sam Hunt pops up on it, and it's just like my friends be like, "What the hell?" I was like, "These are bangers, though.
Yeah.
They're so good. I don't understand why people give him such a hard time."
Yeah.
But then somebody else will play the same shit, and it just don't hit me.
Yeah.
Like I just don't like it, and it'd be the same type, and it just doesn't hit.
Yeah. Yes.
That's the great part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many different flavors of it, you know? It's like going to an ice cream shop. You got different flavors within country music, which is cool. And you get different flavors of personalities too.
Yeah.
With what you see on your end of things. How do you with doing the TikTok thing and all that, how do you stay above the drama and the BS of that? Because there's so much of that, but I feel like that's something that feels like people love reality. I grew up in the land of the Jersey Shore. You know, I was in high school and
trashiest place in the world.
I
One of them, for
vacationed to
sure.
the Jersey Shore and did all that, and people love a train wreck. They love seeing crazy shit, you know? So how do you navigate through the personality world of TikTok and Instagram, especially in the Southeast where it's so big?
I hate it so bad. I make it a point to avoid it at all costs.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody snaps off on me or does some slick shit, I'm liable to come at your neck. I will. I will ruin myself if I know that I'm right. Oh, I am full crash test dummy. Like I will go hard at you. But if it's not anything that's friends, family, or whatever, or just somebody being a fucking moron, I'm not going to even act like you exist. I don't read comments. I don't, unless I post something that I want to read the comments, I guess. I don't care what you say. I probably think you're a moron if you're coming at me and I don't know you.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I'm not going to give you any time or attention. Plus, my anxiety and mental health is so bad. I don't want to add to it. I'm trying to take away from that. Like, you're not going to project your bullshit on me and then me have to harbor it. Hell that. I ain't going down those roads.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I talk about, like when we talk about Raise Rowdy stuff. We're like, all right, so where we're at now is like, okay, if you're comfortable saying this in front of 15,000 people in a crowd with your parents in the crowd, that's what we should be doing. And if you're not comfortable saying it in front of 15,000 people with your parents in the crowd, it's probably not the right thing for us to do. Now that meter is different for every person.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine because it's what you're comfortable with. It's just like in my head, that's the scope you look at things in.
I like that. I'd probably avoid that.
Yeah.
Like
Your spectrum's different than
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But if y'all knew who I was 10 years ago, I cared what everybody thought and it drove me crazy. Now I think it's bad, to be honest with you. I just literally don't care.
Yeah.
Like I'm under the impression now that you got to live your life. You came in this world alone. You're leaving this world alone. It is your job in that middle to make yourself happy and the people that you love happy. I do not spend my time, whether it's something I would say at Live Oak or I would say on my show, I never ever sit there and think, damn, should I say this or not? If I feel it and I think that I'm being real when I say it, I'm going to say it. But I also don't have to be ugly to folks about it.
Right.
Or whatever. Like, I can give you my honest opinion. If you take it the wrong way and you ask me for my honest opinion, you're the one at fault, not me.
Right.
Don't ask me my honest opinion, I guess is what I'm saying, unless you want my honest opinion.
Was it hard transitioning from the radio stuff that you were doing into what you're doing now to where you have the FCC and then you go to where there is no FCC and you're kind of your own boss?
I like it more now.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
But I never struggled with it in radio. Like I grew up going to church and I had the same mouth outside of church as I do now. But I know when to cut it off.
Yeah.
I know how to not drop a F-bomb.
Right.
Like if I walked in this door and you said, Josh, you can say everything but fuck, I wouldn't say fuck.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't say anything I'm not supposed to. I don't have a problem with it or anything like that. So I never really had a problem in radio with that. But now, dude, it's so free to do whatever you want to and say what you want to, have
Chains are
on
off.
who you want to.
You're unfiltered, completely, and you can do whatever. Do you have to kind of watch that with your crew sometimes when you have them on, or have they all kind of figured it out themselves?
They've got it now. There's a woman that I absolutely love her, and when she first did the show, I thought it was going to be a one-time doing the show with us, and then whatever. So her name's Gypsy, and she travels the country in her van.
I think I've met Gypsy. At Live Oak.
Gypsy does the OnlyFans stuff. She lives out of her van, which is a badass van anyway. But she used to, when she first started coming around, I fell in love with her story. She's got an amazing story. But I kept having to make the joke to her all the time. We'd be in public, and I don't like people cussing in front of youngins.
Yeah.
I have a big problem with that. Yeah. I don't like people talking dirty in front of youngins.
Yep.
There's a difference in me running my mouth at a bar and talking some nasty shit there.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to a restaurant and being that way.
Yep.
So, Gypsy, I love you. I'm throwing you under the bus here. But she would say stuff, and she's just so used to the world she lives in, she just didn't think it. Like, she just didn't. We're out drinking, having fun at a sports bar or something like that. And I'd be like, Gypsy, you're on a 10. Need you at a 5.
Yeah.
Like, when we get back to the house, you want to be on a 10, you go right ahead.
Yep.
And she doesn't do it. Like, she hasn't done it in a long time. It's a little bit of adjustment period, but
It's funny, and I mean, one of the things, you have a daughter.
Yeah.
So, like, that puts a different perspective in your life.
Does it?
You know? Like, Matt's starting to feel that because he has a girlfriend that has a young daughter. And he usually heckles and drops, like, cursing out the outfielder.
Bro, I went to a baseball game, and I didn't say blip to a single visiting player.
really,
I did great.
it's hard for you having a fucking Yankees hat on.
It is, man.
I started.
It is.
I've got my Red Sox jersey in the car I wore it last night. I started to put it on.
This would be actually really good content. So my mom and my stepdad are getting ready to sell the house in New York and move down to Delaware full time. Taxes, no taxes in Delaware. Lots of taxes in New York. Everybody's
Bless
going to Delaware. So my mom's going through all this old shit in my room because they're putting everything in the storage unit, starting to show the house. She found this thing. It's a little note from when I was in the 3rd grade, and it says, "I love my pet dinosaur named Bob. I feed him Boston Red Sox players."
I hope your pet dinosaur's dead.
I feed my dinosaur. I wrote that at 8 years old.
You're an
The
asshole.
Wienersaurus is full circle.
But you know what? That's just like a damn Yankee fan. Yeah.
I know, dude. But it's funny you bring up the. I didn't know you were. So you picked the Red Sox over the Braves, or are you just like?
All right, so
are you not a huge sports guy?
I'm
You're
a
more
big
than-
sports guy.
You are okay.
Big sports guy. So growing up, I just fell in love with the Red Sox story. Probably around. I played a lot of travel ball growing up. Right? Yeah. And then they finally won in 04.
You know it's full circle. Remember 04? Remember the Cowboy Up thing? Mm-hmm. They all shaved their heads except for Johnny Damon, and they all had big ass beards.
Yep.
They were all bald, bearded dudes. So it makes sense. Josh Terry looks like he could have played for the 04 Boston Red Sox.
And I still there's something about the underdog, the loser, the folks that you don't believe in. Yeah, it's even more now that I was like, okay, I was meant to be a Red Sox fan. Now we just happen to have won 3 World Series in the past 20 years or whatever. So you're not that much of an underdog anymore, right? But I told my dad one time, my dad asked me why I was a Red Sox fan. And I told him it's the only thing that I can still remember from when I was 10 years old that I love just as much as I do now. Yeah. And my dad was like, okay, I get that. I like Harleys. Like, that's his thing. Like, it's the only thing from being a youngin' or whatever that you still love and are passionate about. And the Red Sox just, for some reason, have always been that for me.
Yeah.
I love that.
And the Braves, by the way, I would not be a Braves fan to save my fucking life. Like, until they won the World Series, I guess 2 years ago, they let us down so bad in the 90s. But it wasn't losing. It was your favorite player was going to get traded. The person that you liked and you invested your time in and cheering for, they were going to get traded.
He's from
Welcome
Pittsburgh.
to the Pittsburgh Pirates.
He's
baby.
from Pittsburgh, bro.
Yeah, I don't
Y'all
even
let Bonds go.
dude. I don't even
Well,
associate
how-
with baseball because of that.
How did y'all let Bonds go?
Well, because they were like, "Hey, we're trying to make money, and we're not going to pay any money and still do it."
Jeez, that's almost as bad as Seattle losing Griffey.
Yeah,
they should have named the stadium after that man.
Yeah.
They should have done whatever it took.
That was when I was a kid. It was Bonilla, Bonds, and Andy Van Slyke in the outfield. Oh, and by the way, everyone else on the team pretty much hit 300. You know what I mean? Like, that team was amazing.
Well, y'all went to the championship series the year before he left, right?
Yeah, and they were elite, man.
Yeah.
Like, our team was great. We had good pitchers, that quality starters, quality relievers. And
you had Barry Bonds. That's all I give a shit. You had,
and Bonilla was in his prime then too.
Let me ask y'all something. I'm worried about this. So, since talking about sports, whatever, y'all think steroids ought to be allowed in sports?
Come on, give it to us.
I mean, honestly, it'd be what you got to do is you got to figure out a way to mix it in with the all-time record. Like, you got to have the steroid home run champion and put it before like a certain era.
It's good to do before now. I want steroids. I want
after.
steroids in every single sport.
They made it a lot more fun.
Yeah,
98.
Can you imagine if every single football player was roided out of their mind?
Bro, it's happening right now. It's just called HGH.
Much better.
Yeah.
It's just called HGH, and they're doing it under incognito. Like, bro, like they in the 70s they didn't have supplements.
Yeah.
Now all these guys are on dietitians, supplements. It's the same thing. It's just
I want them taking horse steroids though. Like, I'm saying,
you want like Latimer from the program.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Smashing
Pound it. Did you know that movie?
Smashing. I
love that movie.
I got a seat at the table, and then he smashes his head through the truck window.
When he's in that weight room and he's doing them clean and jerks or whatever it is, when he just starts shaking, so roided out of his mind. Man, I love that movie.
Yeah, paint his face, the tribal Indian shit.
Just a psycho.
Like the Ultimate Warrior.
But think about how good sports would be if everybody was Latimer.
Yeah.
It would be amazing.
Be like NFL Street, that video game back in the day.
That was the worst.
Ray Lewis throwing Jeremy Shockey
video
over
game
truck.
of all time. I hated that shit so
you didn't like I liked NBA
Did
Street
you like
too.
Blitz?
No,
I
like regular football and baseball. When you started adding that other stuff to it, I was like,
but that other stuff is the steroids. Like MLB
NBA
Heat.
Jam.
MLB
NBA
Heat.
Jam was pretty fire.
That was
you light the net on fire.
Oh yeah,
you hot. Yeah,
old school on Sega
back
back in the day. That was maybe before y'all were around. But
so what sport do you follow the most? You baseball guy most or football?
Yeah, probably
or
baseball.
Baseball.
Probably baseball. I
most boring
love
sport
the
on the
history of baseball.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
I have a lot of throwback jerseys, and it's usually my favorite players. Like, it's hard to say I'm just a Red Sox fan. Like, that's my team, but there are so many players that I even got like people I look at that are Yankee fans, to be honest with you. Like, I love Babe Ruth is like my all time.
yeah, he's a hoss cat.
Just because what he was.
Yeah.
Getting hammered like McElwain did last night at 5 o'clock. And McElwain, he showed up at the ballpark on time though. He was there at 9 o'clock hitting dingers, and you can't even get out the closet. No, I just the players mean the most to me. Like, there's a lot. It's hard for me to I just like giving Yankee fans shit.
Yeah, that's everybody's favorite thing to do. It's like
well, it's because Yankees fan give literally everyone else on the planet shit. So I have to give it back to them.
Well, see, but I am a Georgia Bulldog fan, and we did that shit forever and hadn't won shit since '81. Why our fan base feels the need to still talk shit, and we've won 2 championships in 2 years. I will not talk shit during football because it's like I was 33 years old before I knew what it was like to win a national championship. I have no room to talk to anyone.
We're just over the border. Even Auburn had won a championship.
Everyone had.
Yeah.
Everyone had.
Yeah.
I was born in '87. I went my whole life without a national championship. I didn't think I was ever going to get it. I thought I was going to get a wedding ring before they got a national championship ring. And that shit ain't happening no time soon.
No, not at all. What is it like being do you date often? Like, what is the dating life of Josh Terry?
I'm picky
because you meet a lot. You're surrounded by beautiful women all the time, but they're your friends.
Yeah, I'm so picky, man. And what I like is, don't get me wrong, I like a good looking woman. I don't mind spending some time with her, if you know what I mean. But if I don't have a connection with her, she can get that Uber and go right home the next morning. I don't care. I'm so picky about who I'll invest my time with when it's like I'm a shitty person to casually date because I don't care. But when I'm actually in a relationship, it don't get no better. Like, I am the guy that is there for you, wants to be there for. I want to take you everywhere with me, do all this type of shit. I've only been in like 4 serious relationships. I was 18. Everything else, I've just been single.
That's me too, man. I'm the same way. Like, I'm a good guy and I'm going to treat a girl right, whether I'm hooking up with them or whether I'm in a relationship with them. But the amount of time that you can get on my schedule is very different based on how you are.
Absolutely. You know? Yeah, I don't believe in casual dating at all. I had a teacher growing up, and I don't know why it stuck with me so much. But he said, if you don't see yourself marrying them, why date them?
Yeah.
It's just, you're just wasting each other's time.
Yeah.
And I haven't, but I'm weird about the idea of marriage too. I value it so much. I value what a marriage should be. My grandparents spoiled me with that shit. Like what real old school love is and how you're supposed to treat each other. So I might look on social media and everything like I'm just this big old slut. Maybe a little. But no, when I'm actually invested in somebody, I'm the fucking best.
Yeah, you talk about like the social media, like the social media thing, and that's something that we've talked about, like your social media character. But then when it's time to talk business or it's time to be in a relationship or whatever, people don't think that. But then they get to know you and they're like, oh shit, this guy knows what he's talking about, and that's something I see with both of you, and that's something I feel with myself too. The way I portray myself on social media is a little bit different than.
You see, the problem with mine is I have made the business decision to surround myself with women like Macy and Alyssa and Tawny and Sarah. And it is polarizing to the kind of woman that I want to settle down with. They can't stand it. Like anybody that I would invest my time in is the Sunday school teacher. Yeah. It's literally like I want to marry a Sunday school teacher that can sing her ass off, whether it's country music or in the choir. That is the most attractive thing in the world to me. And when you meet that person and you hang out with them and then they see, he just posted a picture with this girl. This girl is insanely attractive, does OnlyFans and all this kind of stuff or whatever. It's like, I'm not going to hang out with this guy again.
It's all about trust, man. And like the right girl, when she comes along, will get you and she'll trust you because you won't give her a reason not to.
Yeah. But it's still, I don't give them a reason to start off with.
Right.
But they're like, I'm not doing this shit.
Well, it's about comfortability level, man.
So I get why I've chose my career over my love life though.
Mm-hmm. Same.
When it happens, it happens. I don't give a shit. Yep. But if you can't understand, one, sex is sold. They've marketed sex since the beginning of time. It's been the best selling point of anything. Hardee's with who was it? Paris Hilton or whoever eating a burger on top of the truck or whatever. Yeah. Like, if Hardee's is doing that and Paris Hilton's
all those music videos since music videos started.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? What, Tawny, whatever her name, dry humping the hood of the car, 80s videos. Like, if you are doing what we're doing and you're not associating yourself with women that are talented, good looking, whatever, and they're not pushing your brand, men aren't going to pay attention to your brand.
Well, and for me, it's not so much about the looks as it is like people that get it, right? And that's what I look for in guys, and that's what I look for in girls. Like, are you the same kind of person that we are trying to associate with and that we're trying to be, you know?
Did I tell y'all last time what the Brett Favre rule is to me?
No.
Okay, this has literally been since I started working in social media or whatever. I call it the Brett Favre rule. To be successful, you got to make women want you, and you got to make men want to be you. And Brett Favre was the king of that to me.
Ric Flair.
Same thing.
Country music, Riley Green.
Oh, God, yeah. Stud
Redneck
muffin.
Adonis.
The Greek, Redneck Adonis, Greek god of the South.
Yeah.
Riley Green.
Telling you. That dude, I don't know where he came from.
Alabama, baby.
That is a pretty man. Good God. There's no way you look at him and then you look at the four of us in this room and be like, we're from the same genetics.
Yeah,
you know, there's a chromosome or something missing that I didn't get. There's something there with folks like him. It's just like, if this is what it's going to take, I am screwed.
Well, and here's the thing. Like, we did a lot of articles on Riley early on, before he had like a pub deal, before he had label deals, when he was just cutting songs back in Alabama. And yes, he's great looking, right? Yeah. And that's the easy thing. But the things that make Riley Green
tell me what a
really
good dude
famous,
he is, because this is what I already think of.
Man, he is one of the most quick-witted fellows that you'll ever be around.
Yes.
Right? He is, if you say something, he knows exactly what to say right after it. 1. 2, he knows how to make you feel so that you don't feel any way negative about what he's responding to you.
Yeah.
Right? Which is amazing. and he is one of the absolute best hangs that you will ever have.
He seems like it, dude.
He is. That's not a facade. He is. He's a great hang. Now, having said that, like, do girls love him? Absolutely. Right? Now he has a girlfriend and stuff, so it's not like he's as crazy, but like, y'all get less crazy, as it goes on.
Absolutely.
That's how it works.
I'm trying to get less crazy at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm definitely less crazy than I was over the last few months.
Well,
Absolutely.
I kind of, about 2 months ago, like, I hit a wall with my drinking, and I was like, I got to chill out. Like, this is just too much. Like, ever since I opened my studio in October of 20, everybody that did the show, anything that I went to or whatever, people expected me to just be a party animal, like nonstop hammered. And I got used to it. I got so used to it. And then about 2 months ago, I started doing this, like, running and stuff again or whatever. That lasted about a month. That shit got cut out real quick. But while I was doing that, I did like this 3 weeks sober, like straight, nothing. And I forgot what it was like and how good you feel when you're not constantly hungover.
Yep.
And just how good it is. So back home, I cut my drinking to 1 day a week for the past 2 months. And I'm getting more work done.
Yep.
Everything, like, I feel so much better. The only time I'm going to binge drink or overdo it is when I come up here. That 1 week out of every month, I'm going to save it for those 4 or 5 days that I'm up here. I'm going to go hard. But I also feel like Red Door Conversations, I've got so many people on the show and built relationships with folks at Red Door. I ain't going to Red Door till 12 o'clock, and if I go at 12 o'clock, I'm not leaving till 3, and I'm going to be hammered while I'm there. So, like, you can't – I wish I could even be sober, not sober, because I'm going to drink. I like drinking. I wish I could. I wish,
we know, Josh.
Yeah,
we know.
Newsflash,
Josh Terry enjoys drinking, y'all.
That's That's a whole new headline.
Breaking news.
Fake news. Fake news. But, like, I wish I could drink less. Even at, like, a show at Live Oak yesterday, I did it perfect. Hour and a half, no tequila when we recorded the podcast. That was perfect.
Wow.
And only had like 2 beers while I was there. But I want what I'm building up here to when I'm here. I want people to know, it's a good time, but he's doing it the right way. Like,
it's powerful, man.
Yeah,
it is.
I will want to do it the right way. So there was a couple shows when we first started. I'll be real with y'all. I thought Hasten was going to tell me, because I only had a schedule up to March. I thought he wasn't going to give me any more dates because of something I said. I was so worried. It was me and Mark and Lee. Mark Wright and Lee Tucker.
I was there that day.
And Dave, Dave, one of the other owners, was running sound for us or whatever. And the whole time that, like, Dave is looking at me, I see a disappointment in his face. I didn't know that he didn't mind. But when that happened, it was just, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it the right way. I've got to reel myself in. But I'm a big believer in, if you know that you're the problem, you can fix the problem.
Absolutely.
When everybody
Easiest
else,
problem to fix.
when everybody else is the problem, it's a whole lot harder to get your shit together.
That's people management. That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah. But if I know that I'm doing something that I'm not and I'm overdoing it, then I know how to fix it because it's me.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, when that cutting it back on it, it was even where this week, back a couple months ago, I would have got up drinking here. I would have, just from the second I got up partying at the house, listening to music with my friends or whatever, and there was no reason to drink. You're not going and doing anything, whatever. So, like, this time we made it a point to go play golf a couple days.
Nice.
Not end up on Broadway at 2:00 day drinking for no damn reason. I'm tired of spending money on something you can't get back.
Yeah.
And you can't get it back.
No, man, and that's one of the things too. It's like, why am I drinking past
As I take
midnight?
a sip of beer.
Well, but at least this one was free.
Sipping a beer and ripping 7 shots of tequila in a 30-minute period
Yes,
are different.
absolutely.
Different things.
Yeah, and
Man, I'm in that world too.
that ripping 7 shots of tequila.
I remember.
Wow.
Yeah, I was sitting at the table and I was like, damn, but it wasn't even just you doing it. It was the whole clan doing it. They follow you. The
I
whole
know,
crew.
and see, that's the thing. Like, we even just had like this long talk this week because we're planning some stuff, and I know y'all the same way I am. Y'all, there's probably every time that y'all get together, it's gonna lead to business.
Yeah.
It's going because y'all have the same mindset that I do. It does not matter if it's 4:00 in the morning or 4:00 in the afternoon. we're so goal oriented that's what excites us to talk about. I want to talk about growing. I want to talk about what's something I could be doing better. And that was one of the things, like, we're planning our trips from now on to where, hey, let's get us something during the day. We got a lot of content done. We got a lot of work done. Ended up getting an extra show with Whitney Miller while I was up here.
Hell yeah.
It was good.
That's big. I love Whitney.
She was cool. I'd never met her lead, knew her. And anyway, she came over to the house to record an episode, and it was supposed to be 45 minutes. She had so much fun. We did it for like 2 hours. Like, it rolled so good. But if it would have been a couple months ago, I would have been day drunk by the time she got there, and it wouldn't have been as good a content.
Yep.
And that's where I'm getting to. It's not the sponsors bitching about it or anybody that's complaining. It's, I know that I need to be doing better for the guest and for myself and the listener.
Yep.
Like, I want you to hear, I know I'm good at this. The numbers show it, and it makes me feel good about myself. But if I'm not holding myself accountable and giving people the best that I can give them, then I'm upset with myself. And I've heard some shows to where it's like, man, I'm letting me down.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing that no more. Like, there's a difference in having a good time and just being completely unprofessional.
Yeah, it's like I don't get stoned before I do rounds.
I can't.
I haven't gotten stoned. I don't get stoned before I do podcasts. Back in the day, when I was just recording it myself in the spare room of my house. Yeah. We would take breaks middle of the episode to smoke more sometimes.
You will not hear me talk when I'm stoned. Hey, but
I was doing that because I wasn't drinking.
Yeah.
Because I used to do that drinking on the radio all the time on my college radio show.
I can't remember what episode it is. I know it was at the beach last year when we had a big group down at the beach in Panama. But we ended up recording an episode with some folks, and I am stoned. I'm talking about, I don't know how strong the edibles that were taken we were, but I sound horrible. Like, I'm not putting my sentences together well. I've got mush mouth. I just sound like shit. And that was about the turning point where I was like, I don't mind getting stoned at all. Don't get me wrong, but I will not do it before a show.
Yeah.
I won't. Mark Orient gave me a pen one time while we were up there. Yeah. Jesus Christ. I didn't even know I was doing a podcast anymore. Like, I was just sitting there wondering why Mike was in my face and I was on stage at Live Oak. And then I get so paranoid. It's just like, everyone knows.
I have that. It's all about finding the right strain. You know, you got to find the right weed for you.
Yeah. Or, man, I mean, everything in moderation.
See, that's what I'm learning. That's what I'm doing my best of right now is to learn moderation.
Yep. And I say everything. I don't mean everything. We're just talking about the low end stuff.
Yeah. You want to hear something crazy about me? Neither one of y'all are going to believe this. The only thing I've ever done is weed.
Yeah, God bless.
Yeah,
nothing else.
Me, that's me too. Yeah.
There's a lot of people that think this dude doesn't sleep. Like, he's got to be wild. I'm so scared of hard drugs.
Yeah, same.
I am petrified of it.
I'm afraid I love them.
I know for a fact if I try something hard, I'm going to love it.
Yeah, if I did cocaine, I'd be on it all the time.
Yeah, that's how I'd be
fucked.
I'm telling you, I'm stealing catalytic converters off of everyone's truck by the end of the week to pay for my habit. I'm telling you, I would be a crackhead like that.
Man, and that's, for me, I'm like, life's pretty great without that.
Yeah.
Like, why do I have to go around and mess around? Like, you see so many horror stories of, like, what it does to people.
I grew up with it. Like, I grew up with that. Everyone in my family besides me was an addict.
Mine wasn't like that, but we saw it in the peripheral. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you saw, like, okay. And, dude, it's funny because, like, the stuff that happens to you as a kid affects you.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, my dad drank a lot, but he didn't when I was around.
Yeah.
So I never get to see that. But I got to see my mom smoking cigarettes, and I got to see how it made her have to leave us. And I got to see how people told her to stop. And I got her to see that she was kind of embarrassed of doing it. Yeah. So I never wanted to smoke cigarettes, you know?
Well, my parents did meth, not cigarettes. It would have been way cooler if they did. No, like that, it made me and my sister are completely different. It made my sister feel like she could do it because my parents did it and some other family members did it. It made me scared of it because I had to see it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm to this day, I exclude myself from some rooms sometimes.
Same.
You know, because I'm not getting tempted. I feel like I would give in under the right circumstance. I had a guy in high school, dude. I know you're sober.
Yeah.
Had a guy in high school that we went to school with, grew up with a lot of money. And it was probably our senior year right thereafter. He had to go to rehab, developed an extremely bad habit. A couple years later, we're at a house party, and I run into this guy. And we're hanging out, having a good time, whatever. And I go to get him a beer, and he's like, man, I can't have a beer. I was like, why? And he said, if I take one beer and I let myself down, if I drink one beer, I'll be smoking crack by the end of the night.
Yeah.
And so, like, I have that mentality now with anything that's not drinking. It's like, I would rather not find out what it's like.
Yeah. Same.
For me, it's weed and beer.
Yeah.
And then I've done mushrooms a few times, but nothing.
I kind of that. See, mushrooms, I've only microdosed like twice.
That's what I've done is the microdose thing.
Microdose. I'm scared shitless to try to trip. I don't want to. I want to do. I like the microdosing because I've read all the stuff for your mental health.
Yeah.
And just how good it is for you. The only thing I really do want to try, and me and Whitney Miller was talking about this on the show. She's done ayahuasca. Like she says she's done it like 17 times. Is what she was telling me.
That's like what DMT is in, right?
Yeah, ayahuasca is.
That's what Jim Morrison did, right?
Yeah,
It's very spiritual.
Yeah. But it's like it's supposed to open you up and make you realize stuff about yourself that you need to know. When last time I did a microdose, it was our 2-year anniversary for the studio back in October. And as weird as it sounds, I ended up going outside of the studio. There's probably 30, 40 people in there as a band playing and all this kind of stuff, whatever. And the microdose literally made me realize, like, I don't have to be in the party to be the party. Like, I don't have to be in the room. I don't have to be the loudest person. I don't have to be obnoxious for all these people to be here for me.
Yeah.
Like, I can just be the person I want to be. I don't have to overdo it. And I would have never got that mindset if I wouldn't have microdosed. Like, it just something opened me up to where I was like, I just don't need this.
Yeah.
I don't need this to be successful.
I feel that way with marijuana sometimes too. Like I'll come to moments of clarity.
I feel stupid.
From it.
That's what I feel.
Well, sometimes I do. And honestly, for me, I do that at the house more than I do it in public, right?
Yeah.
Just because, like, for me, it's all right. So when you're doing something and you're driving,
yeah.
right? Eventually, when you're done driving, you're like, how could I have drove better? You know, like,
Yeah.
what was I doing that was slightly off? And in my head, it's easier to do that in the PM. And it's easier to do that, like, if I have that other thing where I'm like, maybe I just hit a one-hitter and I'm a little high. That opens up my brain in a different way. And it can go poorly. Like, sometimes you'll get paranoid.
Yeah.
But other times I'm like, why am I not doing this? Or, like, why don't we have this already?
Yeah.
Or, like, what if this person worked with us on this thing? You know what I mean? And, like, it opens my brain up. I'm not saying that's the only way I could get there. I'm just saying it's a slightly easier way for me to get there. Now, other times I will smoke too much pot and I just hang out and play Madden. You know?
Dude, sometimes I get the productive high and I'm there fucking, I'll clean up the kitchen. I'll clean up my room. I'll do all my laundry. I'll do all this shit because I'm like, I'll get a productive high sometimes.
If I get high, I'm not moving.
Yeah.
I don't want to move. I don't want to do nothing. I want to put something on TV. I want to stare at it and I want to relax. That's the only reason why I do it.
I love that high too. And then other times I'll get ideas or I'll be stoned and I'll be out at Red Door because you got like getting drunk at Red Door. For me, you get stoned at Red Door. It's a tough place to be. So Red Door is a tough place to be sober. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm weird about Red Door. I really like it when I like it, but there's times that I go, I can't wait to get out of there.
Yeah, that's where I've been at here recently. Is being out and being. I've been struggling with it a little bit more than I had been. Trying to get better at it. We're trying to figure out the balance.
My thing is with Red Door or anywhere else, I like when a place isn't cool, but it's cool. If that makes sense.
Red Door's cool now.
Yeah. Now it's cool.
And we're making it more cool by talking about this stuff.
I've only been coming up here for like 3-4 years now, and y'all here every day. But that used to be the thing that I was looking forward to, is those late night conversations with whoever.
That's how Losers was before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Losers
I caught the tail end, like the last little bit of Losers. So it was Red Door. Because me and Riley, we went to Whiskey Jam for the Creative Vets. We went and played in their golf tournament with everybody a couple weeks ago. And then they did the vet takeover, Creative Vets. And we went there just because it was for Creative Vets. the crowd, and I love Whiskey Jam. I love everything about it. I can't do it because of my anxiety. But I used to would have forced myself to stay. And now I've figured out that I don't have to.
No.
Why am I making myself be uncomfortable?
There's other places to do that.
Yeah. And so like we left Whiskey Jam and went to Live Oak, and there was a good little writers round playing. We just hung out there. I don't want to go to places that are constantly full with people that are full of shit. And it just seems like the past couple of times, I don't like having to talk business, but I don't have to. I really like doing it a lot of the time, right?
I don't talk business at Red Door
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
What I do is I make the connection.
Yeah, that's
and I'll
exactly
say,
right.
Hey, let's talk tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let's talk
I'm
later
going to
this
say
week.
some bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to say something.
Well, I don't want to hear the bullshit either.
Exactly,
You know what
that's
I mean?
right.
You know
Yeah.
you're going to hear the bullshit there.
Man, I was with, I'm not going to say his name, but I was with a songwriter that y'all know that's a big deal.
Wayne
And-
Brady.
Yeah. And
Just the other night.
yeah,
Yeah.
and there was people that in a matter of 30 minutes came up to him 5 or 6 times and literally was trying to drop song ideas to him. And it's just like,
Stop.
why? Like, I also tell my buddies that have never been up here before that come with me for the first. We had Cole Goodwin. Wait till y'all hear this kid. He just did my show yesterday. It was his first time he's ever played. Now he's 22 years old. I'm telling y'all will know this kid. If I was ever going to put my money on a youngin', him. Like he's a bad little bastard. But like I tell them, when you come up here and you're hanging around folks like y'all or whatever, make them your friend. If they see something in you, talent wise, or they see something like getting you on the podcast or whatever like that, let it just develop.
Yes.
Don't ask for it. Become their friend first. And if you're going to do business with them, you're going to do business. If you're not, then don't
just be their friend.
Yeah, why can't you just be your friend? I wouldn't care. I'd still hang out with you dudes if y'all didn't ask me to do this.
Yeah, it's just
well, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, we
organic.
hung out before we asked each other
exactly.
about
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Organic friendship. It's about you end up doing cool shit with your friends. We're all here trying to create something. you
Yeah,
know?
I mean, every one of us have a common goal, and it's
Yeah.
to be successful. Your success might not be my success.
Yeah.
Right.
We all got a different meter when it comes to that, but we all want to be successful. Like, why can't you just befriend people? And when puzzle pieces line up and they fit together, then great. But if they don't, I ain't got to be mad at you because you didn't ask me to do your podcast or anything. I don't know why people get bitter. There's folks that get mad at me all the time that'll message me on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, especially artists. Artists really don't like me sometimes because I'm not going to have people on my show that I don't like. I don't care unless I always say that I don't know how much money it would cost me to sell out, but I'd like to find out. But ain't nobody wrote that check yet, you know. Like so I can do it my way.
I don't even want to see the check.
For me to give up my morals, the money would have to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like it would have to be ridiculous.
Dude, I've had conversations before where I'm like, I ain't never had money, so money doesn't really
That's the
excite me.
same thing with me. I'm used
know?
to being broke.
Yeah.
I'm used to getting by. Like I've never had to where, oh, we've got $10,000 in the bank. And that might not even be a lot of money to some people. That's a shit ton of money to me.
Yeah, you can do a lot with that.
Yeah. And it's like, I've never had $10,000 in the bank. I'm way used to the other end of it. So like, I don't really care what you have or what you could bring me. Because if I don't think it fits me, I'll just be broke until something does.
When man, it matters about what's in your heart.
Yeah.
You know, it matters about what you put out into the world.
Yeah.
You
Well-
know,
Well, that's the thing. My message that I do a lot of the mental health stuff and all that kind of stuff. And that's where every single show wraps back around to mental health. I swear. Somebody just is comfortable talking to me. Because I talk about my suicide attempt back in 2010 a lot. And people just feel comfortable with it. And they feel comfortable that, hey, he takes the taboo out of it. Every single episode in one way or another, people will open up and they'll talk about what they've been through. And that doesn't matter if it's at a bar, an episode, or whatever. That's this kind of thing. And that's the message, besides for just the good time, that I try to put out there.
Yeah.
But I try to sneak it in.
Yes.
Like, I you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want it to. I want you, if you want to open up to me, and because I don't believe in therapy, I believe in support systems.
Yeah.
I believe in.
There's a big difference.
Yeah, I believe in support systems. I want it to be where if you had a problem, I want you to be able to come to me and know that I'm just as messed up as you are. Messed up people don't judge messed up people. So like, I don't want a therapist or somebody that has never been through shit try to tell me how to be. I would rather have somebody that knows a little messed up have a conversation with me. And that's what I do to everybody. And it's just weird how it just develops organically on the show. I think some people, especially these people off social media, have such big followings. I think they know that the conversation is going to go there, but they kind of try to fight it off. But once they open up, they're like, shit, this is good.
Yeah, it's magical.
Those episodes are awesome.
It's very important.
Yeah.
And that's one of the coolest things about having a podcast that I've like experienced is that there are so many trends in the conversations you have with people.
Yeah.
And one is like the leap of faith.
Yeah.
You know, whatever that looks like for that person, it's like at some point you just have to send it, you know?
I don't know if y'all have heard Macy talk about this on stage. She does it just to make my fat ass cry, to be honest with you. But she always brings up the fact that last year in Texas or whatever, that she was struggling, trying to find, like she had a job and everything, but she wanted to pursue music. She wanted to pursue doing stuff in social media or whatever. And I told her that, look, you got one life. If you fail and you're chasing your dreams, you're going to be a lot happier than never trying at all.
Absolutely.
Like, at least I tried.
Yeah.
If everybody in my hometown thinks I'm a crazy person for what I've done for the past 7 or 8 years, there's a reason why they're still in that hometown.
Man, and that's it. It's like, I remember JD Gruber telling me, and it wasn't him, it was someone told that to him. They're like, you got to be in town. Yeah. Like, you got to be here, you know? And then when I was like, oh, no, you don't have to be here. And then I moved here and I was like, yeah, I had to be here.
If you listen to the first probably 100 episodes of the show, I'm like 400 deep now. If you listen to like the first 100 episodes, that's literally what I would tell people is I don't think you need Nashville. I don't think you need it. If you're a songwriter, there's a lot of great songwriters in Georgia and all this kind of stuff. And then I started coming up here. And I swear to you, it's not the networking. It's not really the individuals. This is nothing but dreamers.
Yeah.
And creative people.
It's an energy.
Yeah, and it's like, man, I have never felt this before. Like, I can talk to like a random person, and they're going to get me. They're going to know exactly what I'm chasing.
They're on a grind too, man. And the artist grind and our grind's not that different.
It's not.
It's really not.
I think that's why it goes well together. So,
and that's why it's believable for those folks, because it's like, yo, we're just trying to do the same shit you're doing. It's just a different thing, you know? And like, I just can't pick a guitar or write fucking chords, you know, or write songs with chords, you know. Like,
that was part of my 6 weeks sober that I was doing. Is Jesse Wayne Taylor with Creative Vets was giving me guitar lessons. I love him so much. Yeah. Such a good dude. I am horrible. I hate it. I've almost thrown my guitar now. I can't get it. There's something about it that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I can't make it work.
I've had so many people try to teach me how to play guitar. I can't even get smoke on the water.
Now my daughter picked it up like that. Yeah. Like so smooth and easy. And it's like, how did you do this shit? And I can't do it.
God bless the baby mom, I guess.
No, she's great. She's a wonderful person. But there's not a musical talent in her body either. My daughter is just special. I don't know what the hell it is. Yeah. But yeah, when I started actually being around folks up here, it's just so nice that everybody gets it.
Well, and dude, the people here aren't afraid to work 3 jobs to get through.
Yeah, I really like that.
You know what I mean? They're not afraid to do 10 things to make it work.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about up here is how easily you can get your heart broke. Like, I don't like the fact that...
It's a roller coaster.
I don't like the fact that with me, like I said earlier, I'm so loyal that I've seen with several different folks, you can just get your heart broke in an instant. Like, and I hate that. I hate that I'm not a lot of people, but I'm sure some.
There are people that, man.
Yeah, that will just say, fuck your career. I'm gonna ruin you to make me good. I'm gonna bring you down so I'll rise up.
Yep.
I hate that with a passion. I think that you ought to be rooting for everybody. I don't like country rap to save my life. I won't listen to it, but I will sit there and cheer for you if you are grinding, if you're doing whatever. I'll just say, hey, you're obviously doing something good. It's not for me, whatever. But I've seen people take shots at folks when you didn't have to.
Yeah.
I feel like that's starting to change. I feel like there was more of that back in the day when there was more involvement. when what was going on just a couple blocks over from the studio was what you needed. That was like a gatekeeper kind of thing. I feel like now with social media and with this age of more stuff circulating, you can do more. And I feel like now, but the artists being able to do more, there is more of that. I feel more of, maybe it's just the circles that Nikki and I are in, but I feel like there's a big, like the community, it's more supportive now than it's ever been.
The social media artists, and this does not count for anybody that was grinding before that just happened to blow up, like Trey.
Yeah.
Trey's been grinding for years. Priscilla, a lot of folks were grinding for years, but then blew up because of social media, and they should have blew up way before.
Yeah,
absolutely. But I have a huge problem with the ones that have these really, really big followings and then try to start doing music or anything, and they just leapfrog over everybody else that's paid their dues. But I also think it's easy come, easy go.
Here's the thing with it, man, and that's what it comes down to. Every one of those people are going to have to struggle with, how do I keep this going long term? And some will and some won't.
Yeah.
For me, there's no right way to the top, right? Like, this kid can't help that he's 21 years old and he hasn't played at bars for 10 years. He's 21 years old.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. What I meant was, like, I don't like the fact that there are people that are way less talented than other folks, but you already have a huge social media presence, so you're going to leapfrog everybody else.
Man, it's all marketing.
That's part of a talent too, is
really
having that social media marketing like sense.
Yeah, but there's some that just did trendy dances.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and but also I'm the old bitter guy.
Yeah,
I'm the old. I know, and I like the fact that there are people out there that are writing songs right now that are amazing that we will probably never ever hear.
Yeah.
But then you got some prick on social media drop 30-second clip. And the next thing you know, he's huge just because he already had a fan base, and it's not good.
Or built that fan base through that sometimes.
Yeah,
but the thing is, though, if you're not worth tickets, in the end, at least from my experience, being out on maybe I'm biased because I've been out on the road, but they'll get out and they'll see that they can't, that the shows they might have a great first run of shows, but it's not going to be sustainable.
You're gonna think I'm crazy. I get from especially y'all's point of view on that or whatever. Selling tickets and all that kind of stuff. I like the legacy of stuff. I like the guy that's going to write or the girl that's going to write the song in 10 years or now that you'll still know in 10 years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I love that too.
Generational songs.
Yeah, I like that kind. I like the people that are putting in their art and it's legit them. It's this thing that they want to put out into the world for forever and ever. Not just, I'm doing this now because it's popular.
Man, but think about a guy like Hardy.
Yeah.
Right? So Hardy's grinded his ass off in town, writing songs for other people, playing bass for CJ Solar.
Yeah, he started as a bass player. Now he doesn't even have a bass player in his band.
He was playing.
Oh, he plays bass on stage now.
Yeah,
he was literally playing. He was literally playing guitar for other people, right? Like in bands with other people, just a buddy. And by the way, was a fantastic songwriter.
Yeah.
But like, he didn't know who he was as an artist when he started.
Yeah.
He's figuring it out. The difference is Hardy had 8 years of writing experience before he got there.
Yeah.
And it still took him a while. Look at that first picture of Hardy and look at the picture of Hardy right now. He's developing his character.
I got to see him and Morgan in Macon at this little bar. Well, it's not really little. Y'all played the Crazy Bowl.
We've had many nights at the Crazy Bowl.
But it was before anything. And I didn't even know who Hardy was.
Yep.
And I was so hooked on him after I heard him do Sign Sober You.
Yeah.
And the rest of that early stuff. But yeah, if you look at him, there's a picture somewhere of me, Hardy, and Morgan downstairs, like VIP, or not VIP, the meet and greet that I took a picture with him.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this was Hardy.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. Morgan had jams eyes for that damn hair.
Yeah. I remember Hardy's first like big, when Hardy had played, I think it was like the Basement East or Cannery Ballroom, which the Cannery's not there anymore. I don't think it's a spot that where one of those buildings where there were multiple venues within it. But I remember like when I first moved there in 2018, and everybody was talking about Hardy, and he had put out Throwback and put out for like all that stuff. And it's cool to like, that was one of the first guys I remember like the industry talking about and seeing it in Nashville first, and then watching it go because that's one thing with Nashville too. We get spoiled by seeing what the next big thing's going to be because we see them blow up in town.
Yep.
We see them play Whiskey Jam. We see them play the big rounds. We see them pack out, and we see the buzz of what the industry, what everybody's talking about before it gets out to radio and before it gets out to streaming and all that.
Hardy has a very special place in my heart.
Same.
Yeah.
But it's weird. My daughter used to not listen to country music. You would think growing up around me, that's all you listen to, right? Hardy completely changed her opinion on music. She's obsessed with Hardy.
I love it.
And it has been the best shit that when my kid gets in the truck now, she's turning on Hardy. Now,
awesome.
I've listened to the same damn 20 Hardy songs everywhere we've gone for
Well, at least
months,
there's 40 of them now.
months
You know?
and months now. But he's somebody that and same thing with Morgan, because Gracie likes Morgan too a lot, but really Hardy. She just made middle school softball team as an upcoming 6th grader, and you get to pick your walkout song. She knows that I get crunk to walk out on my way to the show. Like, it's my way to hype myself up or whatever. So it's her walkout song now. Like, we got to get the edited version, but
Sold out.
yeah, sold out.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it's just for me. If you can have an artist that connects with an 11-year-old and a 35-year-old,
Yeah.
male and female, you're doing something. You're doing something special.
Yeah. And man, like, was working at Big Loud like I did, I got to get to know him a little bit.
Yeah.
And like the genuineness of him, and like, he's so smart.
Yeah.
And he's just like, he's one of those guys that you are absolutely, when you meet, you want to root your brains off for. I wish that man
That's
absolutely
cool.
nothing but the biggest success.
I remember you describing him as a technician when it comes like songwriting, guitar. Like he's very, very cerebral with his and the way he is on stage. He like, especially because Nicky's first couple rounds that he had with Rowdy on the Row. Which I don't know if you know this. You remember what his first few rounds were when he first moved to town?
So I moved to town October of 2020.
Okay.
So that was COVID, right? It was like kind of the end of COVID, but like it was still like we
Same
had to
month
wear
I
masks.
opened my studio.
Yep, the start of the Dick Down in Dallas thing. Like, that was one of the first things that popped, and then Nicky started doing his rounds in January, I believe, right?
First event we did in town was Matt and I did an event for Trey and Alex's birthday before Dick Down in Dallas happened. It was just us with two of our buddies, Alex Maxwell and Trey Lewis, and we're like, let's do an event. He's like, you want to be on it? I'm like, absolutely I do, dude. But in January, we started Rowdy on the Row of 2021. So we like had all of our crew. We had Joe, Brian Nelson, Meg McCree, Ben Chapman. We had like,
what a beast.
Meg
we had-
Patrick, Ashland Kraft.
yeah, we had just like a killer round on the first one. But so I had that radio show in Pittsburgh where I did editorial. So I already had a relationship with Big Loud. And I hit them up. I was like, yo, if any of you are like, I already have Ashland playing. And like, I know Sean well. He's played stuff for us in the past. He did our Whiskey Jam takeover. So did Ashland. I was like, if y'all have any of your artists or young writers that you want to have on the round, like, I would love to have them on. And they were like, well, how about a whole night? And I was like, yeah.
That's cool.
So we had Hardy, Ern, Lily Rose, Tierra. We had Craig Wiseman. We had like almost all of the Big Loud roster, of course, except Morgan because he was canceled at that time. But
yes, it was just the perfect storm. Of
it
just
was
this lining up,
and they didn't have nothing going on because they couldn't tour. So we had Live Oak. The bar was completely at capacity at 1 p.m. for a 7 p.m. show, right?
It was stupid.
Because everybody was just so hungry for music.
Yeah.
And then I said, I had a good relationship with 50 Egg. I was like, hey, would you guys like to do one? So through 50 Egg, we had, of course, all the amazing 50 Egg artists. We had Ashland Kraft. We had Jonathan Singleton. We had, all like Eric Dillon. We had all that. But Tally was like, hey, we got Riley Green coming up and Ray Fulcher. We're going to put Shane Miner, Eric Dillon, Jonathan Singleton, Ray Fulcher, and Riley Green on the stage at the same time.
Five wide.
Woo.
And I was like, I don't know if they can do 5 wide, but they'll make it work for this.
Absolutely.
And then when we did the 58 one, then Sophia, who was Ashland's manager at the time, was like, we'd love to do a Make-Wake one. And I was like, well, of course, like, so because Kurt, of course, is close to the Make-Wake family. That's who manages Luke, So we were like, yeah, that's awesome. And they're like, we're going to get Flatland to come play full band 9 songs. I was like, you got to be kidding me. This is amazing.
Flatland Cavalry.
My
kicking off the
number
night.
one listened to artist on Spotify 2019, Flatland Cavalry. So I would like
just got into
freaking the
them.
fuck out.
I just got into
Fantastic.
them. I like
I'm
the hell out of them.
freaking out. I'm like, this is amazing. and they're playing full band in our bar or
At
around.
Live Oak on a Sunday?
Like month 5 of having a writers round, like
or week 5.
well, our 5th time.
Yeah,
but like it was in May.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, it was early May, right before Key West.
Because it was monthly at that
We
time.
were monthly.
I had that oh shit moment at the last show, and this not the same name as them, but or as stature or whatever anymore. But when Saving Abel came and did,
So sick.
Dude, yes.
it was surreal because I remember being 21 years old and just getting hyped off of them.
Yeah.
So to have them do the show a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
it was just like, okay, maybe I don't suck.
Well, dude,
Like,
when you
maybe
brought
something's
them to
going good.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you brought them to Butt Rock,
Yeah.
you were like, "Hey, I'm bringing Saving Abel," and I was like, "What?"
I was like, Josh is just out, bro. And then all of a
Yeah.
Y'all
sudden,
can thank McElwain for that.
God bless you, McElwain.
that's good for something.
McElwain saw my Instagram or something and saw him and was like, why don't you fucking
Well, they were
bring
doing
him?
butt rock, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Who would be better to do butt rock than Saving Abel?
I saw, I forgot who was doing it. They were doing Addicted, and I just videoed it, and I sent it. I knew you were in town, and I was like, dude, he was literally just with them. So I was like, I'll video this and send it to you, and then you're like, we're on the way.
I don't know if y'all heard their story when we did it with them. Jared had been through rehab, been through all this kind of stuff, sober and everything now. They have a great story. They're definitely somebody you need to have on.
Okay.
Like,
I would love to have. Saving
I'll
Abel.
hook you.
That'd be great.
I'll call him when we leave here free.
That'd be fantastic.
Because y'all, I'm gonna have to get y'all to call Ashland Craft for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, we can.
We can do that.
We can
I
do
am
that.
such a fan.
I am
Yes.
too, man.
I am. I had posted something about it the other day. I was on the way up here and just had it on shuffle, and that Your Place or Mine came on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jesus Christ, what a song!
Yeah, she's
Yeah. Oh,
awesome.
Man. She is, and she's as real as it comes, man. Like we got to go camping with her a couple weeks ago, and we had chatted about that for a while, just because like Ashland's not a Red Door girl,
Yeah.
She don't really like going out to the bars.
Yeah.
She likes hanging out with her dog and like being around the people she wants to be around, So like you're not going to run into her often at Red Door,
Yeah.
right? Like you don't a lot of people. That's just not the scene for a lot of folks, right? But she's also one of the absolute most genuine people I've met.
Really.
Yeah, and I've gotten to know her a little bit before, and then I worked at Big Loud when she was there, and then man, we had a night at the house where she just came over and chatted with us, and we hung out for probably 2.5 hours, and that's when we talked about we should all go camping sometime. I'm like, I want to get Matt camping anyway,
Yeah,
because
you're
he
not
needs
gonna
to
get me.
practice for
Absolutely
festival
not.
season.
Bro, I did good. I broke a tent.
Yeah,
I broke
you broke
Ashland's
Ashland's tent.
I broke Ashland's tent. I was trying to pack it up, and we were
Climate, please help us, said Ashland
Yeah,
Crafted Tent.
please. yeah. our
So we
boy-
don't have to pay for it. We really don't have the
yeah,
money.
please help me with the tent. But no, camping was fun. I enjoyed camping.
I'll tell you, I grew up in South Georgia. You don't camp there unless you have to.
Yeah.
No, it is hot. It is muggy. I don't have a problem sleeping outside if it's cool. Georgia's never cool, and being in a sticky ass tent is just not something I very much care for.
we ended up acquiring the right bug spray because we didn't. We had light bug spray. We got the.
You need a shotgun for our mosquitoes down there.
We got that DEET. We got that stuff that gives you cancer and shit.
I
We
was like-
had to get that bug spray because we were right on the riverbank of the Harpeth.
Bro, it was mosquito heaven.
Bro, bugs everywhere.
I'll tell you this. I was like, Brill, do you have bug spray? And he's like, oh, yeah, I got a whole bottle of bug spray. I'm like, sweet. We got there. It's like off skin-tastic. I'm like, this ain't bug spray, dog. I was like, this ain't for these southern bugs, dude.
No.
I'm like, give me 100% DEET. I want it to give me cancer as soon as it hits my body. You know what I mean? Like,
Let me take you to the Old Muggy sometime.
Oh, gosh.
Stand for 5 minutes. You are a wep. You are just turned into one big wep. They are the size of birds where I'm from.
Is that where they have carpenter bee season?
I've never seen a carpenter bee.
Because there's certain places where they sell rounds and it's like they have carpenter bee season and people just shoot bugs and that's like a hunting season. Shooting bugs off your porch. It's somewhere in the South, somewhere in redneck
This must
culture.
be the deep South because I don't.
Might be Mississippi or some shit.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
But yeah, so what do you have coming up? You got Macon. The
We got
shows in
Dylan
Macon?
Snyder, June the 3rd at Hummingbird. I've got Taylor Austin Died, June the 16th. And I'm just the host of the event. There's been a bunch of bars reach out because of everything that we've got going on. And one of my friends, Lisa Williams, who runs and stuff there, I finally decided to do it with them because nobody else would let me pick the artists. That's my deal now. Is if
You're a curator.
If I'm putting my name on something, it's got to be somebody that I like, somebody that I want to do stuff with.
Yeah.
I like that.
The only one that I really don't know, and I got to meet him last night of all nights, this was just random, was Dylan. I feel like
Great guy.
I feel like you've introduced me to him at Live Oak before.
Dylan's a great guy.
But so I'll get to see him. Then everything else we got coming. We'll be back here June the 21st for our next round. Our next show at Live Oak. Our website and stuff's getting launched next month with the merch and all that kind of stuff.
Hell yeah.
I figured I kept seeing y'all shit, and I was like, damn, I gotta do something.
Yes,
Dude, I've got
that's
to.
how you build the crowd.
Well, everybody, when I tell them the what Raising Grace Studio and everything stands for, they're like, you've got to have stuff on there. So I don't. So my daughter's name's Gracie, so I name everything after her that I do. So it's Raising Grace Studio, but it also stands for somewhere between Raising Hell and Amazing Grace.
Yep, I love that.
So like I want to have a play with that on some shirts and everything. We finally got it. I'm just so picky about what my name goes on because I used not to be. I used to be like, oh man, I'm just, if I'm gonna get paid from this, you can put my name on it, or merch or whatever, just something stupid. But now it's like I'm blessed to be able to pick and choose now.
Yeah.
I don't have to push something out because I don't want to. If it's not me and it's not something that I really, really want to do, I'm just not gonna do it at this point.
Yeah. And man, that's like, I had a conversation with someone today, and I was like, we're at the point now where we can start picking the folks that we want to put in our wheelhouse.
Yep.
Right. And that's a blessed place to be. And we're not really there yet, but we're getting there. And the way you get there is by doing it.
Absolutely. Well, y'all are getting bomb ass guests on your show. Like
Working on it.
Yeah, like I saw John Langston was on here the other day.
Yeah.
I'm a big John guy.
Yeah, we're actually going down to. I think you're.
I'm going with y'all.
Come
You
on.
have it on the calendar. And McElwain, I'm so sad that Matt McElwain will not be joining us for this. He'll be on the road with Trey and the
Miss
boys.
you, sweet boy.
Montgomery, Alabama, Range 231, also known as the Trailer Bar.
The trailer bar.
It is. Well, it's a single wide trailer.
The bar is.
The bar.
Awesome.
It's a single wide trailer, and behind it is a driving range.
It's
and
a
there's wooden-
redneck Top Golf.
It's not even Top Golf, bro. There is no.
Just try to hit the damn truck out in the middle of the field.
The golf balls are from like the 70s, and the clubs are like those old wooden golf clubs. Like it's not even. I wouldn't even go there to hit golf balls.
Bro, I
Like,
can't wait.
Sounds like somebody's going to get hit in the ankle with a golf club.
Oh, it's
Dude,
gonna be great.
it's one of the wildest places I've ever been, and I've been out on the road with Trey and Muscadine. I've been doing the touring thing for a long time and gone to a lot of shows. And
How are those dudes,
Dude,
by the
yeah,
way?
yeah.
Muscadine guys,
Muscadine?
they're great.
They're great, man.
I've
They're
never
great.
connected with them either. Like
Bro.
I'm such a fan.
They're great guys.
They're great guys, man, and they are very particular about their thing too, and I love that. You know what I mean? Like you're talking about being particular with like your thing. That's how those guys are. But man, the thing that I love about those boys is that they are detail oriented.
Yeah.
They are paying 100% attention to what they're putting out in the world. If you look at their clothing line and you look at the stuff that they have Brad doing for them, who's like their merch guy, it is 100% Southern, and that is their brand. If you listen to the sound of the new album, it is 100% Southern. That is
That
their brand.
moving, I'm Good to Drive song.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
and
is a heater.
they write everything themselves with their producer Ryan Humans. I think Zoltan's got a couple. Zoltan, their drummer, has a couple writing
and a
credits
couple
on
other
this.
buddies that are like their close
But they keep
buds.
it. They figured out what they want because they did the pub deal thing. They've gone through a few different agencies, a few different management cycles, but they've got a team now where they get to be very hands on. Like they are, because since there's two of them, they're like yin and yang, and they work so well. And they've got a huge West Coast tour coming up here soon. Our buddy Nikki's roommate, Tyler, who started in the round with me back in the day, and who got me the merch gig with Muscadine because he had been hired as their sound guy before. His name's Tyler Lassard. I had him on an episode here recently. He's going to be going out. He's obviously going out on the road with them. He's their tour manager and production manager, but he's about to be gone for like a month and a half because they're just doing they've never been to the West Coast, and they're just taking the bus out to the West Coast and California, Washington, and doing all those. So I'm excited to see what they do out there.
Well, you said the word that I associate with them the best is Southern.
They are.
I hate redneck. I love Southern stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's a
different- yeah.
huge.
It's not redneck, man. That's
That's
what
what I'm
people
saying.
that don't understand the culture down
Yeah.
here don't get. They think when you sound a certain way that you're a redneck, and that's not fucking it.
I take I'm not offended by it. I shouldn't say offense. I don't like being called a redneck because I'm not. I'm Southern.
Yeah.
You're Southern in your country.
Yeah.
See, funny thing is, I am a redneck.
The way you dress damn sure looks like it. I've never met anybody more talented that looks like they shop at the Dollar General more.
Bro.
You and Mark Ori are the worst dressed people I've ever seen in my life.
If you were wondering if I'm fucking with you or not, I'm fucking with you.
Good. You're doing a good job.
He does a great job, man. He's Nicky fucking T.
You're definitely hitting the nail on the head, brother.
Bro,
But you make it look damn good.
It's so funny too because like people are like they're like trying to figure out if I'm fucking with them or not, and that's where I want them to live. I give them just enough of like, is this guy really wearing a Limp Bizkit t-shirt and jorts and like a $200 pair of sneakers?
I would wear a Limp Bizkit t-shirt everywhere all day.
Absolutely. I try to now.
We'll get you in, and we've got Ray's Rowdy Limp Bizkit looking shirts. We'll get to you.
I've got to get with you too because the one that y'all just did, the one that's got the cigarette carton
on the weed again.
On the weed again, yeah.
On the weed again. I saw one of y'all wearing that in a picture the other day, and I was like, how the hell have I not seen this?
Yeah. So that's one of the ones we haven't printed in town yet, but we have on our site.
Okay.
So like this one, like where we were talking about this one, I'm like, there's just too many colors in this. I can't print it at a print shop.
What's the website? It's RaysRowdy.com.
Yeah.
You hear that, folks? RaysRowdy.com.
RaysRowdy.com. Absolutely.
But we got some stuff for you. Don't worry.
Yeah,
we'll get you that one too. If you
all
want it.
I wear anyway is cutoffs during the summer. It's not because the thing got big arms or anything like that.
Yeah.
I sweet so damn bad.
Bro.
And I
Sleeves
feel
are for
comfortable.
work.
I don't care. I'm never going to be a skinny dude. Never going to wear a 32 or whatever the hell you got on over there.
The fact you call me skinny, I appreciate that. 'Cause I'm not.
You're skinny to me.
Same.
But yeah, I cut everything out. So this summer is nothing but Raising Grace Studios and Raise the Rowdy t-shirts when I come up here.
Dude,
yeah.
we'll get you in a.
I gotta get one in the round too.
Yeah,
we got those coming.
Yeah, we've got those coming in, and we'll deck you and let us know how many crew members you got coming out for the Langston show.
Yeah.
We're gonna deck everybody out. We'll have like we'll bring the pair of scissors or the buck knife. We'll cut the sleeves and do everything, do crop top and shit. We're gonna
I
go
already saw y'all doing
out.
that with Alyssa at whatever festival y'all were at.
At Auburn Rodeo.
Yeah.
And Alyssa and her mom. Mama Hale is my favorite.
Good
I
God,
love Mama
love
Hale.
both of them.
They're great.
Good. Jeez, they're just the best, dude.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this yesterday. You think that some people you meet off social media are just going to be completely stuck up or whatever?
And there are some of those people.
There's a lot, trust me.
None of those you associate with, though.
None. Absolutely
that's
not.
the way
They're
to
just
do it,
amazing people.
It's one of those things, man, where it's funny because like me and Matt will turn down free work a lot that people want to work with us. And I'm like,
Do people get mad at y'all when you do?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I do it.
I've got
I'm the
a
let down
couple of
easy
very
kinda guy.
ugly messages on Instagram from artists
Yeah,
that I
same.
wouldn't have thought I would have got.
Same. Same, man. And that's a part of it. It's tough because it's hard to hear no. No matter what you're doing, it's hard to hear no. But the hardest part about hearing no is figuring out how you can turn that no into a yes for something else. Right?
That's everything in my life.
That's it, man. That's growth.
Everything.
That's growth.
Well, I don't see the need in being negative anymore.
No.
Like, even if you're having the worst day ever.
Man, and that's
and,
like
and
what
you
we
act
do.
negative, it's not gonna make it positive.
No. And listen, you're going to have bad moments when you live like that.
Yeah.
But you're not going to have too many bad days. When you live in a positive part of the world, you're not going to have too many bad days. You're going to have some. There's stuff that's going to happen where you're going to have a whole bad day or maybe even a bad week. But when you live your life and you're putting positive into the world, you're going to live in a way where that comes back to you.
Absolutely.
The majority of the time.
You've been listening to the Josh Terry podcast?
Absolutely.
Sound like it.
Well, so Josh Terry podcast is out on all the
Everything.
all the
Yeah,
platforms.
everything.
You got full episodes on YouTube and shit too.
I've
do you have, like, a
got to
streaming
get better.
service?
I don't have all these nice cameras like y'all got. I got
don't
like
either.
one 4K camera.
Shout out to Trey Lewis and
Shout out to
DMR
Trey
Lewis
Lewis
in
and
the
a nice camera
luxurious
cam.
studio.
Y'all, I thought I had nice shit until I started coming here. I was like, I'm not doing that bad, but I ain't doing that good either. You know?
I know I didn't have nice shit. Yeah.
No, I've got one. I got the Joe Rogan camera, and I can't make my shit look the way y'all do. I got one of them. Yeah, so out on everything. With the YouTube, I have not done the videos on YouTube because I hate pushing YouTube for some reason. I'm so used to coming from just audio
Yeah.
that video is just kind of a pain in the ass for me. Like, it's just not easy to do.
Yeah.
And I don't
It's
understand
not.
why it's not easy.
It's just labor. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's a lot of time. And that's what like me and Matt are working through now. It's like, well, we run Raise Rowdy. that means that there's a lot of shit that we don't want to do that we touch every day.
Yeah.
And Matt's starting to see that now. He's like, this kind of sucks. I'm like, some of it does suck, dude. But now you own half of a business and you have to do half the shit that sucks.
Yeah.
You know, we'll figure out what you hate the most and what I hate the most, and we'll flop those.
Yeah,
You know?
That's why I just got somebody to do all my the girl. Shout out to Crooked W Marketing, by the
Hell
way.
yeah.
They're doing all our flyers for Live Oak, our digital stuff, our website. It's
good, yeah.
Our graphic design for our shirts and all this kind of stuff. I took that burden off my plate,
Yeah.
and it's I feel a little better. I feel a little better, but it's still like, damn, still a
Man.
lot. I wish I had what y'all had. I wish I had somebody that I was around all the time. That's what I know my show does well. If I had you two guys, or I had my own version of you two guys, every day, I could put out an episode every 2 days, and it would just be so good. I don't have that at home.
That's the blessing that we have with each other, and that's why this relationship has went from us just being buddies to us being business partners.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing else that I've wanted than someone else that's driving that car with me down the road.
Absolutely.
Over the last 6 years owning this business. And I just had it with a buddy who had kids at home and a
They
day
couldn't do
job
it.
and couldn't
Yep.
do it.
Yeah.
But now I got someone that's willing to like drive 12 hours somewhere with me.
Because
and-
I've driven 12 hours with
Right.
a band, with a band in a van, going to mud bogs and going to this gig and going to that gig. It's the same thing, only now I own what I'm selling and what I'm pushing, you know?
Yep. And man, it's like I call Matt like my little brother, you know, because I'm 13 years older than him, you know. And it's like I relate it so much to the experience I have with my older brother Steve, who is like, man, if I could help you not bang your head against the wall on one thing out of every 10, because I know you're going to bang your head against the wall, but if I could help you not bang your head against the wall 1 of the 10, I'm doing a good job being a brother.
Yeah, I need that. I need that desperately.
Yep. Man, and that's everybody needs it. And it's when you find it, it's like, damn, all right, sweet.
Well, I just have the days now where it's just like we're monetized and all that kind of stuff, and that's the only job I have. But it's just where like I want to get to the next level of it, and some days I get up and it's like, well, I'm not making the money I should be making compared to somebody else that's doing the same thing. Why am I even doing this today?
In my head, I have to take money out of the equation.
Yeah.
Right? For me. Right? And that's how I do it. Is I'm like, are we doing the right thing for the community? Right? Like, are we promoting the right people? And sometimes we weren't, and I'm fucking fixing that, and we have fixed it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're like, yo, if this is a bad person, we're not associating with that person. Right?
Yeah. Y'all had somebody on your show that I used to have on, or traded. And I still don't have a problem with this person at all, but I had to get off of that. Like, I had to say, look, I'm not going to just have somebody on for clickbait anymore.
Yeah.
Just because of whatever. If they're trash or they're a dumpster fire or whatever, it's going to make me look like that.
Yeah.
And then let's say somebody I want to get on the show very bad, and I've messaged her. It's been a long time, but it was Megan Patrick. I respect her so much.
She's a badass.
I
she's
just
a
played a
good
clip
friend,
from her. So Macy and us were talking on an episode a couple weeks ago about somebody groping her at a show. And I don't know if y'all seen the video that Megan posted a couple months ago or whatever, but it was some asshole in the crowd hollering out, "Show us your tits."
Oh, yeah.
And Megan stops it and goes ape shit on him like she should have.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I showed my daughter that. Like, I show her a lot of stuff from grown-ass women and how they act and everything. And, like, I want to have that mentality when somebody looks at my show. So if I put trash out there, then I try to get a Megan Patrick the next episode or Ashland Craft or somebody like that. They're going to listen to the previous episode. And then I'm going to shoot myself in the foot because I picked somebody for clickbait instead of substance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not doing that no more.
Yeah,
No,
Haven't
man,
done it in a long
smart.
time.
Yeah, it's all a balancing act, man, and that's part of the reason I wanted to do this episode.
Yeah.
Because you're the fucking man, and I enjoy having you. And they have it co-hosted with Nikki T.
And we
It's a
know you
fun
do
fucking-
stuff the right way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And like, dude, I'm proud to be a friend of yours.
Yeah, I'm proud of
Yeah,
both
same
these
here,
boys,
man.
man.
Happy to have this family, and very excited for what you've got coming, bro. Congrats on the website coming,
Well,
all
y'all
the
too,
fucking
dude.
shows, all the pod episodes, the getting the first round under your belt,
Yeah.
doing all that shit. And I'm very excited for Montgomery, Alabama. That
Yes.
we have
Yeah, we're
coming
gonna
up.
have a blast.
Rowdy on the road with
Have
Wang.
you talked to your crew about Floribama yet?
Oh, we're in.
There,
I
that's
had to break a dude's heart yesterday that did the show. He wanted me to I don't even know what it would be. I would be the host of it, but it's that weekend in Georgia, and I would actually get paid for it. And he literally said to me, "So you're going to go and spend money instead of making money?" And I was like, "You damn right I am."
You're like, "It's my birthday weekend.
I'm going to Floribama with my boys." And my birthday's September the 10th. So it's like, this is just meant to be.
It's going to be perfect, man. I can't wait. Super excited to be collaborating with you on a bunch of shit.
Hey, anything that y'all do, there's not a lot of people that I just say, I'm going out of my way for. I know y'all are good dudes. I know what you're doing is good. The people that y'all have on your show, you can tell you care. You can tell that the artist or whoever it is somebody that is your friend. You're trying to push. You're trying to help them. And you know it's going to help you by them being on here. It's just great. I like the fact that y'all don't. Y'all, if I was here, you have so many opportunities for clickbait. And y'all don't do it. Y'all literally pick the people that is part of your brand, what Raised Rowdy and In the Round and everything stands for. And I got a lot of respect for that.
Thanks, man. We appreciate that very much, dude.
Same, brother.
It's fucking awesome. Well, y'all be sure to check out our man, Josh Terry, The Josh Terry Show. Josh Terry Podcast or Josh Terry
Josh
Show?
Terry Podcast.
Josh Terry Podcast. But it is a show within itself because Josh Terry is a damn show. He brings the party. He's the fucking man. Y'all be sure to check him out on all the podcast platforms. Also, be sure to check out my brother in Raised Rowdy, Mr. Nikki T. Check out Tales from the Front Row, the Raised Rowdy podcast, co-hosted with Mr. Kurt Ozon. And y'all be sure to like, subscribe, follow, do all that shit. And shout out to our sponsors, of course, Big Friendly Productions, Saxman Studios, our friends from Whale Tail Media, and our boy Mitch Wallace with The Digital Marketing Agency. For more information, visit raisedrowdy.com. For Sweet Boy behind the camera, my boys over here, I'm Matt Burrill, and this has been Outside the Round.
For staying in one place for too long. I ain't never been the best at saying I love you to a girl I love. Only got a couple tricks up my sleeve. They usually just make them leave. So if you know me, if you really know me, you know I'm just a two.